Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hodge Factor, episode 4, season 1. So excited to be doing these. So we're gonna just dive right in. First we got some local races coming up, and I'm gonna mention the Supreme Court races, and there's 3 good candidates out there. There's Chris Raines, there's Tim Armstead, and there's Laura Dyer. And the one that I know most is Tim Armstead, and I remember him back when he was a Speaker of the House, and he's just awesome. I actually wanted to tell you a story about Tim Armstead. My family and Tim Armstead happened to be at a Trump rally in Huntington, and I got separated from my parents at the very end of it, and I went up to Mr. Armstead and I said, I lost my parents, and he said, okay, well, you can use my phone to call him. So I was able to use his phone, and then I looked over to the side of me and I saw Mom videoing me with Tim Armstead, thinking something else was happening when really I was actually calling her. So that's just a funny story, and I've just always loved Tim Armstead. And Chris Raines, I do know her. She goes to the Putnam County Republican Club, and that's where we know her most from. So now we're going to get into the coronavirus update, and we have Governor Justice saying that we're going to go into week 2 of Safer at Home, and that includes opening up more of small businesses with 10 or fewer people in the building. Hair salon, barbershops even can open, and you are allowed to outside dine at restaurants like Wendy's or Mi Pueblito, and churches too are allowed to be opening back up. And Governor Justice is not making any restrictions or limits on churches because he knows that the freedom of religion is important, but we still do have to follow social distancing, wear masks and all that stuff, stay 6 feet away from each other. So I'm really happy that he's doing that, and we're trying to get the state reopened. So week 2 of Stay at Home starts Monday at midnight, so that should be good. And now, speaking of the coronavirus, I'm going to send it over to my buddy who's always here, Carlos. I heard he had something with the famous news show, CNN. I think he's going to talk a little bit about something about them. So I'm going to send it over to him, and we'll see how he does. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah, man, thanks, Hayden, man. I can't tell you how much I like him. He's just the best. Okay, so first of all, we got a little bit of CNN action here. Well, first of all, this is the whole thing. CNN is a joke, and the reporters are too. When I do end up watching them, which isn't very often, they are just obviously nuts. I have a picture here. I put some effects on it so you can tell what I was showing you. But I mean, this is what conservative Carlos has to say back. Check out this clip.
Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you.
I mean, they are just absolutely crazy. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop it right there. I've said all I need to. They are just absolutely crazy. So I'm gonna send it back over to Hayden, I guess, because I mean I've done it all. I mean, I'm just amazing, just like him. So I'm gonna send it back over to him, and hopefully he has something to say about the CNN thing.
Man, Carlos, I don't know what CNN is doing, but every single one of them that works there has lost their minds. And I would argue the point that this news show beats CNN. And CNN is by far bigger than this one. We're going to be talking about presidents during recession. You would consider that Trump is in a recession right now, but he is going to be the second to defy that rule, and I'll explain it in a minute. There was one president to win re-election during a recession, and that was William McKinley. Calvin Coolidge and Theodore Roosevelt had small downturns in their term, but they won re-election, and that's still not normal that they did that. But everyone else that has gone through a recession has failed to get reelected. I could mention Jimmy Carter. He started his presidency with 54% approval rating, which isn't bad, but at the end of his term, he had a 40% approval rating. So you can obviously tell what recession does to some people, but it wasn't just the recession. And because of that, he was decimated by Reagan in the election for presidency, and he only got 6 states. So that's just one president that went through recession that miserably failed in the next election. But let me make it clear, I think that Trump will be the second to defy that rule because he is just absolutely amazing. And once he gets reelected, notice I say when, not if, he'll bring America back to be, he'll make America great again. So just keep in mind that he will be reelected. So now we're going to do question of the day because History Bunch done, and we will probably be doing that next week, but you never know, something might come up. So we're going to do question of the day. Last week's question was, how many presidents died in office, and could you name them? They were actually 8. There was William Henry Harrison, Zachary Taylor, Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, Warren Harding, Franklin Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy. They all died in office. 4 of them were assassinated. So those are the answers for last week's question, and we're actually going to do another one this week. And the question is, what state produced the most U.S. presidents? What state produced the most U.S. presidents? If you know which state did it, and you try and number all the presidents, like how many presidents were produced in that state, then you will get, once again, 2 expensive good jobs. So that's all for this episode of the Hodge Factor. We're going to say goodbye and see you next week.